That was even better than last spring. If by better you mean more terrifying, then yes. Izzy wiped water out of her eyes. The morning sun glistened on her light brown skin, smattered with freckles across her high cheeks and straight nose, much like her father's. Her curling black-brown hair, like her late mother's, frizzed from the braid and beads she'd used to attempt to tame it. Ugh, I hate getting wet. As they drifted clear of the small waterfall, a smaller canoe burst over and splashed down. Water splashing over the bow and spraying across the canoe's lone paddler, Captain Dagger, Izzy's father, and the captain of Rosanna's personal guards. His long black hair flowed across the top of his shoulders. A braid along one side beat it. Above his sharp nose and sharper chin, his eyes swept the surrounding landscape, searching for danger that might have been missed by the two guards holding their canoe steady at the edge of the waterfall's pool farther downstream. Captain Dagger edged his canoe between theirs and the nearest bank.
You shot that last set of rapids rather close, Princess.
Rosanna grinned, using her paddle to keep the canoe steady. She'd take that as a compliment, even if it was probably meant as a reprimand for putting her life in danger. It wasn't that close. We cleared the rock by a good 6 inches. A second canoe flew from the rapids and splashed down in the pool with Ahanu and Otho, 2 of Rosanna's guards, guiding it. They each gave her grins, swiping water from their faces and hair. Captain Dagger steered his canoe toward the waiting guards at the far side of the pool, and Rosanna maneuvered her and Izzy's canoe to follow. When they reached her guards, Chogan, the guard in the stern of the canoe, held up a hand.
Nikan and Garmund haven't checked in yet.
Rosanna flexed her fingers on her paddle as she kept her canoe steady. What was taking her guards so long to scout the river ahead? Usually this stretch took only a minute or two, and the guards returned before Rosanna finished her run down the rapids. Should we send backup? Captain Dagger swept his gaze around the Anahayo's banks.
Not yet. Chogan, Ilma, if they aren't back in 5 minutes, go after them. Stay alert.
Ilma, a slender woman with dark brown hair, nodded while her husband Chogan mumbled,
Yes, sir.
Rosanna eyed the river ahead. To their left, the southern bank rose in a steep cliff, the rocks preventing trouble from that side and keeping the river narrow and fast even past the rapids. On the other side, the mountains sloped wooded and boulder-strewn to the river's edge, treacherous to navigate, but not impassable. In the front of the canoe, Izzy tensed as she searched both banks as intently as the other guards. If trouble came, it would be Izzy's job to get Rosanna out of there while the guards held their attackers back. Would it come to that? Rosanna rubbed her thumb across the worn wood of her paddle. In the years of fighting along the border between her kingdom of Nescahana and its southern neighbor Takawasi, the Takawasi raiding parties rarely came this far north. When they did, they usually stayed along the Nescahana River to the south, a broader and more populated river than the wild and rugged Anahayo. The dark shape of a canoe's prow swung around the far bend of the river, cut across the stream's current, and darted into the opposite curve where the river flowed back against itself and aided their journey upriver. Captain Dagger tensed and reached for the long knife strapped to his waist. The other guards did the same, though none of them drew the wide-bladed knives. Not yet. Rosanna held her breath and poised her paddle to make a dash for the shore if necessary. The morning sun splashed across the 2 figures in the far canoe, highlighting the beads tied in the strands of their brown and black hair and falling to the dark blue stripe painted along the upper edge of their canoe. Her guards. Rosanna blew out a breath but didn't relax. Instead of giving a wave to signal the river ahead was safe, the guards thrust the canoe forward as if in a race, their muscles straining against their buckskin shirts and trousers. Within minutes, they drew along.